3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Jaden with AAMP Agency. So, we're in the office today. How's everybody doing out there?
What is happening?
Holla, holla, holla.
Hey, what's going on? It looks like we got Captain Mile High, it says on your polo.
That's right. Captain Mile High.
Did you know who we were interviewing today?
I mean, I knew he was coming on eventually. So this is it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of intrigued by your whole joining the Mile High Club.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, like,
We got
okay.
Jana in the house too.
Yeah, Jana's in the house.
Hello.
Jana. Where are you go? Are you moving somewhere?
Yes, I'm moving to Virginia in August.
Whereabouts?
Newport News, Langley Air Force
I'm from
Base.
Virginia Beach.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
So
You know
I did all my flying out there. Used to have a flight school in Newport News, actually.
You know, I just watched a documentary about Virginia Beach. That's where
Who even know?
Timbaland or Missy Elliott,
Yeah.
Timbaland,
Yeah.
and
Pharrell. Pharrell
Yeah.
actually, he was there at the Neptunes back when I was in high school, and his first recording studio was about 2 miles from my house.
Yep.
So he's done a lot for the community there. We have this new festival called Something About Water, where he got even like Dave Matthews Bands and then rappers to come together. It got sold out for the second year, and then of course COVID took it back.
You're making Virginia sound awesome.
Virginia Beach is awesome. I mean, I love Virginia Beach, but I had to move out here to start my business because business is all about location. And trust me, I love Virginia Beach, but it wasn't going to work in the Bible Belt.
Yeah.
I give Jana so much stuff or so much shit about this because she's moving out to Virginia, and I'm like, welcome to Virginia. I mean, it doesn't sound.
You remember, Virginia is for lovers. That's our saying.
It's for something. You got to do something when you're there.
Awesome. So this is episode 19. Okay, so episode 19, we've been doing podcasts now for a minute. We've had people listening. We've been interviewing operators. We've been interviewing people that we find interesting, and I think this is going to be a hot episode today. So
I think it will be. I think this is going to be a fun one.
let me introduce who we have, and then I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell your story a little bit, and then we're going to kind of dive into it. Kind of just ask some questions, do some bullshit. I know Jana's might even have some questions. We're going to use her woman insight on this. That's why I brought her on.
That's great. That's very
good. But yeah, who we have is Andy Johnson from Love Cloud. So, I mean, this is just an interesting thing. You probably wonder what Love Cloud is. And so Love Cloud is, want to join the Mile High Club. It's based here in Las Vegas. They do romantic dinner flights. And what else? You kind of give your spiel, and then we'll go into it from here because we have tons of questions. And
that's what they do is romantic dinner flights.
Yeah, we do a lot of romantic. Well, I always say we do romantic flights for couples. So we do mainly 3 different flights. We do wedding flights where we marry people over Vegas. Or we also do romantic dinner flights where it can be a 1 or 3-course meal. But what in the 7 years that has been the most popular is I take the back seats out, I put up a curtain, I put a bed, and I help couples join the Mile High Club over Vegas.
That is what I'm talking about right there.
So if you Google Mile High Club, you see my face.
Yeah, and honestly, it is true. I mean, how long have you guys been doing this too? Because I kind of we did a little bit of some background research on this. It looks like the business opened when? How did you get into it? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I ended up starting the business, moving out here in January of 2014.
Okay.
And I had come out in November and secured a lease on an aircraft to do this because without having an aircraft, if you don't have the cart, you can't pull or if you don't have the horse, you can't pull the cart, right?
Yep.
And so I was able to lock that in, and of course I had to go through the FAA certification process, go through all of that, and I was in line for Shark Tank interview. Okay. I believe that was in March or April of 2014, and anyway, the Las Vegas Review-Journal had some reporters out there just asking people about their businesses because a lot of them are unique that come into the Shark Tank. And when they found out about me, it became an article that they wanted to write. They wrote it and put it in the Las Vegas Review-Journal, and it literally went viral overnight.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
my phone was ringing from countries all over the world wanting to do podcasts like this, interviews, radio stuff. I got 12 reality show offers. We were on Howard Stern and the Today Show, and it's just so funny because I didn't know all this stuff was coming. Like Telemundo was, and people are like, "Hey, have you seen us on Premiere Impacto?" I'm like, I never watched that channel. Sorry, I guess it's a big one, right? And then I'll forget my cousin was like, I'm reading Maxim's Best 100 on the toilet right now, and on the very last page is a whole article on you. He was like, I mean, it's weird, because you don't expect to be reading something about your fellow cousin, but it was just unique things that were just always happening, and it was great. I mean, it was really great. Moment for me to propel the business.
That's awesome. That's we work with a lot of operators. So to hear how you got started and where you're at, it's a very unique business. You don't have any
competitors.
Yeah, you don't have any competitors. This is, and who doesn't want to go up in the Mile High Club?
Well, there are some people.
I'm sure there are.
But most people are. Especially today. It's 2021, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, and so did the business always, because we hear unique tour operators stories, or how you can turn something into an experience, because that's kind of what you're in the business of.
Correct.
It's not necessarily a tour, except you kind of are, because there is planes that you can go up. You can see the Hoover Dam, you can see the Grand Canyon, all that stuff. But now this is an experience. Right.
Well, the biggest thing is that for me, that I've seen in my business, and that I love about my business, is the experience and the memories that you create, because this is a lifelong memory that you will never forget. For most people, it's a bucket list item, and you want to, especially for me, I want to be able to make this the best experience ever, because let's face it, you can't take money with you to the afterlife. All you have are memories, and for me to be able to create these amazing memories, these connections with their significant others, is just so, it's just so fulfilling in a way that I never knew that's where the business was going to go. I'm like, okay, this is just for fun. It's Vegas. Sure. Hey, let's go, which it is for some. Yeah. But for a lot more, for the majority, it's hey, this has been something we've always wanted to do. Hey, we want to rekindle the romance. This is, and that's what I love about the business so much.
It is a very cool business. So there's not a lot of, I guess I've never thought of it as a tour until it's presented as a tour, Mm-hmm. I think everybody laughs about it because, obviously the Vegas Vacation, when they go up on their way to Vegas, and Clark Griswold comes in with his blue pant leg from trying to get it on in the plane. I think that's the first exposure.
I love me some Vacation. I got to watch Christmas Vacation every year. Yeah. It's a classic.
I think that's like the first exposure, the first thought process behind it anybody ever had. And then it's just like one of those weird myths, like, Mile High Club. Who's going to join the Mile? Easier said than done, right?
Well, that's the thing about it is, and it's as funny as I did my research when I started this business, is that it's actually illegal to do on an airplane. It's a felony, not a misdemeanor, felony under what is it? Indecent behavior. And so what happens is there have been, you can read articles, there are people that have been arrested, detained, and everything for trying to join the Mile High Club in a small, nasty airline bathroom.
Do you think you get added to the no-fly list?
So I actually
I don't think so.
Well, I actually Googled
especially
this.
since I'm an airline pilot. I got that card, that golden card. I'm like,
So I Googled this, but before, and did a little bit of research. It's actually a higher percentage of people that have done the dirty on an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And also, too, the people that have done it. I'm not saying this is a fantasy or anything like that, but
it is.
It's sometimes it's with a staff member. It's a flight.
Yes.
Not trying to throw.
Yes,
trying to throw them under the bus or nothing like that. But you always see the movies. And you got the good looking flight attendant or something like that, and you're like,
it's probably a lot easier if you're the pilot and you can do it up over in the where they make the beverages and everything else over. If they don't have to go to the bathroom.
Well, and also too,
I just bring them in the cockpit.
That's better. Yeah, see, that's better.
Totally kidding.
Well,
totally kidding.
No, we don't want the FFA listening and stuff like that.
Right, watch much companies like, excuse me, we need to have you come into corporate.
Andy, we need to talk about your performance.
Yeah,
but also too, I guess
get the tape recorders, get the voice box recorders for that flight.
So we fly. I fly shorter flights. I'm not flying to London. I'm not flying to Australia. But that's almost where they're saying that a lot of this happens, is those overnight flights, you know what I mean, 9 hours, stuff like that. I mean, you're kind of, because I've been on a train too before, and you got passengers mingling, getting up, you know what I mean, not really paying attention who's going to the bathroom with each other or vice versa, because you do have people getting up in longer flights.
Sure.
What's the longest flight you've taken, Steve? I mean, to Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii.
Okay. Do you get up in the flight?
I mean, I don't, other than go to the bathroom. I mean, but I'm also not rich. I'm not flying on I don't get to fly up front with all the rich people and go up to the cocktail bar. Like, I don't have the nice lay down bed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
what's the longest
I
flight?
don't know that I need
Oh,
to
the longest flight was probably about 9 hours, 10 hours.
As a passenger?
As a passenger.
What about pilot?
Nope. Oh, as a pilot, probably 4.5 is the longest I've actually done. But I'll tell you what's interesting is there is a guy here that in Vegas that flies for Virgin.
Okay.
And he goes big, and he's English.
They probably go back and forth.
Yeah, just to Manchester and back. And he told me every single flight, somebody's doing it on the flight.
That's
so you're
awesome.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
It's not the short flights, domestic flights normally. It's those long international flights because people are sleeping. Think about it, in the middle of the night.
Middle of the night.
Why would you even want to watch somebody go into the bathroom? But usually you can get away with it.
You don't notice it.
You don't notice it.
And I thought about that too, and I was like, oh, it's because I also then Googled like trains. You know what I mean? Trains. It happens a lot, especially like Amtrak. I mean, trains are long.
Yep.
And I've even been on a train. And I've walked multiple carts before, and I've seen people and go
I
to the
thought you
bathroom.
were going to tell us about having booty on a train.
Hey,
if you're on a train, that seems like a prerequisite.
I mean, in sleeper cars. I mean,
Who
you
was
have
the caboose? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I didn't put it in nobody's caboose that day. But so it's kind of it's an interesting stat where it actually happens. So I'm surprised. I don't want to say that's a felony, but how many people actually have gotten caught in the act?
And that actually, you'd be surprised more if you look at the stats. That's what I was surprised too.
Yeah.
But what happens? And there was a couple here in Vegas that got caught 2-3 years ago.
Did they get turned in?
They did. They got arrested. They had their mug shot on the front of the paper, But they didn't even try to go to the bathroom. They were just right there in the middle of the seat.
See, I can applaud that.
So that takes skill.
So where are you at on this? Are you into this? Is this something you would try?
I don't like that you phrased it like that. You into this?
Well,
You're my boss, Steve. We need an HR.
my bad. Let's we'll run this up to HR when we're done.
Joining the Mile High Club? Yes.
You're
10 out of
into it.
10. I would do it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, I saw the TikTok going around where the girl was talking about Love Cloud before you guys became kind of affiliated with us, and I was like, I sent it to my husband and went, so.
Are we using the American Express or Visa? What are we getting the most cash back with, sweetie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Visa.
So this is kind of an interesting, because now we kind of want to know some questions. We want to know a little bit about, some stories.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of into that.
Oh, I've got so many stories.
Okay, so let's break down the most average experience that you see people having, right? Like, explain a little bit going to your tours. I mean, you kind of said your dinners, weddings, stuff like that, right?
Correct.
So a lot of the times people come in with just couples.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
Swingers. Swingers come with couples.
Well, or swingers is probably your second in line for probably the most,
That
right?
actually is not what we push. I'm really about the whole romantic part for couples only. However,
God, you're a nice guy.
It was thanks. I don't refrain from it because it has happened, because I don't push that out there on like the website and stuff. But of course, yes, I get calls or emails. Can we have threesomes or foursomes? Well, yeah, absolutely. We can take up to 4 people. So have we had swingers on board? Absolutely.
Doesn't that seem overzealous? I mean, is it not enough to just go up and have like mile high sex? If you've got to bring a party with you to the cloud to have sex, that
hey,
seems
to each
ambitious.
his own, man. You know what? Whatever's paying my bills, I
You're not going to bitch.
And I'm a person that believes I'm in the entertainment business too, or the nightclub business or something. It's like same with like limo drivers, nightclubs. You know what I mean? They're not gonna promote. You know what I mean? Hey, come in and do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same time, they're gonna say, hey, you're renting out my experience, my facility, whatever it is. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm driving the plane.
I'm not opposed. I get it in a limo. You're in a limo and you've got 10 or whatever. 10. 10's ambitious.
Geez, wow.
Wow. But, like you want to have like threesome, foursome in the limo. Limo's normal. It's a Las Vegas Strip. It's easy. Right. But you're joining the Mile High Club. that seems so ambitious. Like, you know what? Instead of just me and my wife, we're going to go up there, me, my wife, this other chick I met. It's going to be wild.
Steve, talk to your mic. See why I get in trouble about the audio levels? It's always
I'm way over here.
can't hear Steve.
No, but
no.
it's
There you go.
I mean, you're right. I mean, and that's one of those things that like a teach his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To each his own, and it's probably, hey, maybe we'll split the fare. You know, we'll split it 4 ways instead of 1 or 2.
Well, that's kind of. I mean,
You know?
that's kind of what I was thinking.
That's what I was,
But,
you know.
Group
But
discount.
the big thing too that I want people to know about is that we are really big about the LGBTQ community.
Yeah,
sure.
We don't discriminate. We get calls about that, hey, and I'm like, absolutely. And what's really unique, what just happened today, is we've had a lot of gay couples, but only men. I have not had a female couple, right? Yeah. And so I get a call today for a girl saying, hey, can we do a dinner and a Mile High Club package? And again, a lot of people don't know that we can combine the two. So we'll do the dinner flight. We'll come down. Yeah. They'll get freshened up, go to the bathroom, what have you. We'll change out the interior, and then we'll go back up for another flight. Right? Now, here's what's interesting. Here's what's even interesting. So she goes, well, I'm going to do it for my wife. I said, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. I've never had a lesbian couple on board the plane. I was like, can we please use this for social media purposes? Are you okay with that? She's like, absolutely. Yeah. That would be great. She's like, what's really interesting is that I've actually joined the Mile High Club with your company 4 years ago. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I came there with a man in 2017.
Yes.
And now I've just switched the boat and, I got married and I'm living in Texas. I was like, good for you.
Yeah,
So, this is another great story that I can't wait to present. And that's going to be happening in Memorial Day weekend.
You haven't had any of those stories of guys switching sides, huh?
No. But what's actually interesting, my very first gay couple.
First I came with my wife, and now I'm here with,
I know, right?
with Jim.
Yeah, Jim.
Jim is way more fun.
Jim, he's way cooler. He doesn't talk back.
Doesn't bust my balls and shit. I like
Literally.
that.
But no, it's just one of those things that, our first couple, and I didn't know because, and I had other pilots flying for me. And so he goes, hey, the guys are here. And I'm like, guys? And I didn't, right. And of course, I don't discriminate. But what was funny is he actually is the owner of Wet Lubricant, the big like lube company, like Astroglide or whatever. He's like, so whatever you want, we can. And so when he came in a week later, I get this big, huge box of lube, like mini lube. So I was giving him, I'm like, you want pomegranate? You want banana flavor? You want?
You guys should have been sponsored. You guys should have been sponsored.
Actually,
by
we
the lube
did.
company.
We actually had a sticker on our plane.
Yeah.
But eventually it flew off. So
Sponsored by Astroglide.
yeah, by
Well,
Wet Lubricant.
that's always where mine goes. Steve knows I'm big into like sponsorships,
He
like
loves it.
liquors, and
He's
like,
like-
so like I can always figure out how to like turn a couple
He's
dollars
like, why
on
don't
that.
we put a digital billboard in there? And
Yeah, sell like bathroom hats and businesses.
Hey, who
Yeah,
cares,
anything
right?
like that.
Whatever makes money, right?
Okay, so I got all the questions here. Okay, so one of my questions was, are you a member of the Mile High Club?
Of course.
Okay,
But now here's what's interesting.
wasn't on your own plane.
I have not done it on my own plane.
Nor you should.
I'm the one having to fly it.
Yeah.
So, sometimes there's a couple pictures people think I'm in the autopilot's on. It's not.
Okay, and that was my next question. I mean, I went to your website. I mean, you're a good looking man. You know what I mean? And I saw the one.
Should I get some space here?
Well,
He wants to know if you want to switch boats.
I ain't switching.
Yeah, right.
I ain't switching.
With this, that was the prerequisite.
Well, look
to
at
this
this.
question.
Well, look
Gotcha.
at this. Where's that picture of you? The stunning picture of
The about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. He looks
you.
like you know what I mean? Like, hey, wasn't
Are
there a bachelor? Because main channel. Pilot Pete.
That's so funny. You know what? Somebody just did that on our Instagram like a couple hours ago. Hi, Pete from The Bachelor, and I was like, hi.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't watch the show, but
that photo looks like it could have been taken off of deposit photo too, though.
deposit photo. What's that?
It's stock photography.
Look at him. That's him. That's him.
That's
right there.
legit. That's 100%.
Is that how every time you get in your plane, do you pose like that?
No.
Come on, man.
So yeah. So
I will
mean,
for you though.
I would like that.
So tell us a little. Okay, did anybody ever try to make a TV? Because you talked about TV shows and stuff like that. Let's talk a little bit about that because I thought that was interesting. Because I think this does look like a concept of like a below the deck or something.
Actually,
like that.
that's where we're going with the next one. So when we did blow up, we got 12 reality show offers. I signed with Discovery Studios. They did a sizzle reel. Sadly, I wish I had gone with Ryan Seacrest and his production. I didn't like the direction they wanted to take it. They wanted it to be all about drama and this and that and stuff.
Of course.
And that's what sells.
Have you ever watched the Kardashians?
No, never. No. But then I know that's reality TV. But again, for me, it was important to show real people, real stories, what really is going on in the business and stuff like that. But it didn't get picked up, which is okay. I was all right with that. But we actually went back to the drawing board last year, and we were really getting into it to make it a below deck. Same exact concept. And then, of course, COVID hit. Yeah. And that just sent us down. And then Shark Tank, sure. I made it to the finals of Shark Tank. I had to go through 3 interview processes. But when it came down to the bottom line, ABC said, nope, it's primetime TV. Kids watch it. And I totally understand. Mom, Dad, what's the Mile High Club? You don't want to explain that to your kids. I understand. So that was what happened with that. But again, we've been going strong. And like I said, now that I think, too, reality TV is looking for something. Vegas as well is looking for something new. We might be at that time,
Well, it is. I mean, it's such a fun thing. There's so many ways you could spin it off for reality TV. I suppose part of the challenge is because you guys are flying the size plane you are, is room. I mean, how do you have enough cast on a... You
have like the flight attendants, you have a dispatcher, you have a mechanic, you have Tony and I and Margarita. So that's where they want. They want that cast of people. We have for the dinner flights the caterer or the chef. Same thing, same concept.
I mean, you're always going to be running behind. You're always going to have some high demand client. I mean, it's like they could have written the script for you already. Actually, could be done. And we're on season 3. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Absolutely. Haven't shot a single episode, but you're already on season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
but we have so much content, and it's so fun. Some of it's funny, some of it's amazing. I mean, I was telling the girls in the back, some of the things that have just really stuck out were, I always ask the question, why did you book the flight? And everybody has a different, we saw you on Google. We Googled Mile High Club. Things to do in Vegas. Yeah. But, I've had like the woman say, well, my husband is a special forces guy. He's going to Afghanistan, and I don't know if he's going to come home. Mm-hmm. All you have are memories, right? We were talking about, I had the couple that were 2 doctors. I said, why'd you book the flight? We work 12 to 16 hours a day. We have 2 kids. Andy, we need this. And you could see their marriage was on the brink of divorce. And just that hour, they completely changed. So happy. So I just, that love, you can see it. You can see just that passion that uniquely my business helped create or helped spark in a way. And it was like my other business partner, Tony, he's been now doing all the flight to get his own story, and that's maybe what we can do with him, bring him in, and do it.
Absolutely.
Because I remember one of his, it's like the guy, this older man, I don't know if I want to do this, and gets on there, and and when he's coming down, he didn't really help his wife on board. When he got off, he was all happy, he's grabbing her hand, and just that, showing that gentleman of himself that is there, but hasn't been there for her in a while.
That's cool.
So those are some of the things, some of the stories we have.
So on the new website, should we advertise like marriage therapy?
Why not?
I mean, that's...
in a way, I think that's... But again, it is... I'm telling you, it really has saved a lot of marriages and couples.
That's awesome.
So that's what I truly love, is that I've just kept some people together, because with today's time and social media and everything, people are not staying together longer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Statistically speaking.
Well, so now at this point, we need a funny story. You just went into like saving marriages.
Yeah.
And that's super fun, but I want to hear about like...
Well,
I want to hear about a train wreck here.
Yeah. So, I've had, God, where do I start? Well, the funny thing is, it is a curtain. We don't have an actual fixated door because it's not allowed by the FAA for emergency purposes, right? For the pilots. So but it is a secure curtain. It's never once fallen down, and it never will. Again, we wear noise canceling Bose headsets, so we don't hear anything. And of course, with the engines, you get that white noise. And also, we have a Bluetooth wireless sound system on board, so you can crank that thing and go. But as much as it can be loud and quiet at the same time, you get some people that love to scream.
They're giving their business,
loving to scream, and I'm telling you, when the planes are rocking,
weird.
don't come a knocking, because it's just when it just goes back and forth. That's when you know the guy's on top is when the plane's going back and forth, and you know the girl's on top when the plane's going up and down. And the wings are flexing.
Oh my god!
So it is never boring. I've always got kind of a smile on my face because I'm getting paid to do this. Yeah, and
so wild.
you know, and it's just it's so funny, man. And yeah, I mean, gosh, the one again, talking about threesomes. I had this couple from South Africa, because we do get people all around the world.
Sure, you get international travelers for days.
But you know, sometimes it's the worst because, you know, I'm all about safety. Safety is always number one. And usually the only times we have to cancel flights are for, let's say, maintenance issues or weather, right? I can't control either one.
Yep.
And I've had people, no lie, only two, thank God, that have just we came halfway around the world just to do this. And I'm, you know, you feel horrible. I'm like, look, when you come back, I'll give you a free flight or whatever. You want to make it up, but you feel so bad when that happens. But this couple came from South Africa, and they brought their girlfriend. They said, you know, they wanted to do a threesome. I said, okay, great.
Sons.
So they're like in their mid 50s. She's probably in her 30s or whatever. And they're coming down the terminal and coming down, you know, coming towards the airplane. And he has got a captain's outfit on with the hat and the epaulets. And they both have the baby blue 1960s Pan Am outfit with the hats off to the side. And I was like, damn, that is classy.
Yeah.
I wanted to pull the curtain back. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, God, that is so cool. I mean, it was just so classy.
That's the way I think I'd go out.
You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I'm kind of like a content creator. Kind of, I'd go in that way.
Balls deep. Guns a-blazing.
Rather than like the guy that's like, hey, baby, I'm gonna show up in my suit and tie or something like that. You know what I mean? But also too, it is an experience for some people. I always use the example we talk about people that have only gone to Vegas for their first time. Like, there's a lot of people still to this day that have only gone, like, we've gone a billion times. Now we live here. But there is always going to be that person. It's their first time in Vegas. Yep. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's those people that do those experiences like the first time. Well, the Mile High Club is the first time. Okay, my one question to that point.
So to that point, do you do this on your first time to Vegas?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't think
What do you think?
I mean, I have had people just come here just to do this, and it's
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think
not many. To
I
answer your question,
I think it's a destination experience.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm going to Vegas to do this.
kill two birds with one stone. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe.
You know.
Question: Is there? I mean, I got a lot of questions. I think a lot of people have questions. If you're on, we're streaming this live too. So if you have questions in the chat, let us know. But what I was going to say is there other destinations that do this in the United States?
There is only one other place that has, I say, attempted to do it. They don't push it. It's a little small flight school, I think, in Cincinnati, Ohio, and it's a Cherokee 6. It's a 6-seater normally, very small. I mean, like, here's the pilot.
Yeah.
I mean,
here's you.
I mean, that's even worse.
Yeah,
hey, we're in Cincinnati.
Not only that, if you go online and you look at the plane, it still has this paint job and interior from like 1976. I mean, it is ratty. And so when I saw that was my competition, when I was going to start this business, and again, they don't advertise it, I was like, I got this. Yeah. Because here's the thing, I am not the first person that has done this. I am not the first person that's done it. There's been multitude of people that have tried and attempted it, but they've been unsuccessful because they haven't attained the search engine optimization. They haven't got that name out there like I did. And that's why when you Google it, you know how it works. Yeah. That's why I'm, first. But I will never say that I'm the first. I'm just the one that has taken it to the
created
next
a
level.
business out of it.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I think that's interesting because I think there's always the things of like, even if you're thinking it, probably 100 other people have probably thought the same thing. You know what I mean? But this was one thing that I was like, couldn't really find somebody else doing, and I think that's interesting.
It's funny when I get people, because most people are like, oh my God, that is such a great idea. That's such a great and I love that. And then I get randomly people that I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like, well, exactly. And they're like, why would you want to go up in an airplane and have sex? Like, just why? And I'm like, and then, it's funny. There was a pilot I fly with that actually said that. Yeah, he's getting divorced now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because you're clueless, man. Like, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't think I'd ever want to do that with my wife. And that was like 2 years ago. I saw him. I was like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm going through a divorce. I'm like, saw that one coming. Sorry. I didn't say that to him. I was thinking it, obviously. But, so kind of going to what you're talking about, what's unique about my business, when I first started it, I didn't know who my demographic was going to be, right?
Sure.
I mean, I moved out here. It's Vegas, right? That's why it's crazy Vegas. This is the place to do it.
I'd love to hear who your demographic is.
Well, yeah. So I thought, it's obviously going to be mainly men that are going to book these flights for their couples and everything like that, or for their significant other, and then also potentially prostitution. Let's, I'll face that. Like, it's here, right? We all know it. I don't really deal with either one. 70 to 80% of my bookings are women. Wives and girlfriends, because they're the ones that spark up the romance. They're the ones who plan the vacations usually and all of that. And the other thing is, I don't deal with prostitution whatsoever. Because if a guy wants to do that, he's not going to wine and dine a prostitute. Let's face it. You know what I mean? He's not going to spend the amount of money to do this. So that's what I love, because I didn't want to be affiliated with that. I just was like, well, assume the worst, right?
Yeah.
But what I have loved is to see that, oh my God, there's so many women that are booking these flights to create those experiences for their significant other.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No worries.
I just was hearing stuff and couldn't understand where it's coming from.
Thought he heard dead people.
I do all the time.
Yeah.
You hear people.
Wait, should I say that? Oh, man. I hate it when my mouth is moving.
We
and
were
I'm
almost-
thinking.
I never thought it was going to be a situation of like prostitutes. I guess I would have thought it would have been more men. I'm not surprised women are probably the initiators of it. But, like in our business, you're always thinking of like, okay, so like give me what a perfect customer looks like. And I'm still very interested, like, if I was to go and try to build out a demographic of who your perfect customer is, it could be a lot of different people.
I'm going to tell you, Steve, your SEO work for me is going to be extremely hard.
Oh, my God.
Because guess what? I get the people that come in suits, beautiful gowns, right, with money. Sure. And then the next flight, I'll have the couple in the jean jacket or the jean tuxedo from Walmart, both of them.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so unique. Now, granted, it is something where most people do have disposable income. But this is a bucket list item. This is a fantasy. I had this great couple from Detroit, this black couple, and they're like, look, we don't have enough money for this right now, but can we do a payment plan, like $100 a month? I said, absolutely. So at 10 months, they paid me $1,000. And they were able to do this bucket list item for them. You know what I mean? It's just like everybody wants to do it. They might not be able to afford it, but maybe I need to start offering financing.
Put that Affirm button on there. It's like the same way you buy your Peloton. You can buy your Affirm monthly financing for your...
maybe. I mean, maybe I should be looking into that.
You can. You could pay payment plans in the booking engines and stuff like that. So.
So that might be something that we look into as well.
Yeah.
Because again...
Are you showing up to your... Mile High Club classy, or are you showing up in sweatpants?
Probably not sweatpants, but maybe something themed.
You are going themed on
I like
this.
the theme.
Oh, I like that.
I don't know. I'd have to talk to Robbie, see what he wants to
What do you think?
Let's call Robbie.
I almost would like
Robbie
to dial
right now.
Robbie in.
Bring Robbie.
What do you
Robbie's
think?
at work right now.
We'll bring Robbie on.
What do you think Robbie wants to wear to this?
I don't know.
Do you think Robbie wants to do this? Actually, is my question.
She showed her. She said that.
She said she's down. Is Robbie down?
He works
showed.
on the helicopters on base, and so we've talked about it's kind of like a tradition when you're going to leave, you have sex in the helicopter.
Jana,
I didn't know about this.
Now introducing our second guest, Jana. Tell us about the helicopter thing in the military. So that's a tradition?
Just for his unit, supposedly. It's mainly for the pilots, but the maintainers can potentially sneak up on there.
So does somebody fly?
No, you just kind of go in there. I mean, they're rescue choppers. You can't just fly them.
I think we're throwing our military under the bus.
Yeah.
Like, telling them, like,
It's just a bunch of sex on dirty helicopters.
okay, maybe we should.
I was just very floored because I'm a Navy brat. My dad was in the Navy for 20 years, so that's why I was like, wait, how are they getting away with this?
Yeah.
How are they calling it a maintenance flight?
Were they having sex on aircraft carriers?
No, because there wasn't any women in the Navy back then. Yeah.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
He said he went in. My dad, I remember, he goes, Andy, when I went out to sea, I just became like a Buddhist.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I always think about those poor guys being in submarines for...
Yeah. No, thank you. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah. So okay, so we kind of didn't go into your. I mean, we got so excited about the questions. How did you become a pilot? How long you been a pilot? You know what I mean? I know you fly commercial planes and stuff like that too. You married? You got a kid?
So I started flying when I was 16 years of
Yep.
age. I knew I wanted to be a pilot right after I was 4. I mean, I was immersed into it. My dad was in the Navy. He's also a retired American airline captain.
Gotcha.
So again, it's in the blood. And so I did my first flight at 13. I really started getting serious at 16. I got my private at 17. Got my instrument and my commercial license at 19, and then right after my 20th birthday, I became a flight instructor. So sadly, nobody would hire me because I could barely shave.
Because you were 19.
Yeah, I don't have a problem now.
There's a lot of young people. Like I talk about that. You know, you're getting old when your airline pilot is young or is younger than you, and
Yeah.
your dentist. That's what I always say because your dentist. Cause like I got this kid and he's like, it looks like he's just 17. You know what I mean? He's working on my teeth.
I actually prefer if my dentist was younger because sometimes it's terrible when you go into like that old dentist guy and he gets in your mouth and he smells like old guy.
Or he's squinting. That's what I don't like. I'm like,
I don't even mind the squinting. You just
I do.
you know that
It's my
old
mouth.
man like
you smell
old man smell and it's like
mothballs.
oh let me get in there. I don't know why my dentist sounds like
I
a
don't
trucker.
know, but you know what?
I'm gonna change dentists.
I would.
I need a younger
I don't
guy.
know. I've actually only had female dentists. I've never had a male dentist
Really?
my entire life.
As a female, as the yeah, I mean, it's
it's just happened that way.
My
Don't
dental
you-
hygienist is always a female, but
There's-
your dentist is a female.
I've always had.
See, and that's crazy. Like mine's always
And that was in
been
Virginia
A male.
and here too.
Mine's always been a male.
There's nothing I hate more than artificial dentist conversation. Hey, Steven, how are you doing? How are things going?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you think? I don't want to talk. Just finish up in my mouth. Get out of my mouth.
Well, by the way, you know I can't talk with my
Oh,
mouth
so-
open,
and they just
so
wanna
you're going to
carry-
elongate this time frame that I'm here.
They just want to carry on bullshit conversation. How's your mouth doing? It's connected to my fucking body. I don't know. It's fine. It's
It was
there.
good. Steve's got you got nice teeth. You
I
always
do.
got nice-
I've never had a cavity.
yeah.
You know what? Me too. I've only had one. I had one because it was my freshman year of college, and I
Yeah.
was partying and eating candy and not brushing my teeth. So that's the only time I ever got one.
Yeah, I've
Jana?
never. Do you have?
I had to get a little bit of a filling my first
Yeah.
year of college.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I had some cavities. They always say it's good now. But I did go to the dentist the other day.
Yeah.
I was in the fucking chair for like two hours because
What they do?
Well, it was just it was just because my gums are sensitive because it went a whole year without a cleaning, and it was just right on the line. And she's like, "You're right on the line of this, like, really hurting." And I was like,
You don't floss, do you?
"I don't."
You
Yeah, that's
floss?
what I
Are you a
started.
flosser?
I mean, yeah, I don't floss
use the-
continuously.
yes.
but I'm a 1 to 2 a weeker.
Yeah,
You know,
and I wasn't
that's better
before.
than nothing.
I
I mean,
get asked-
I wish I could do it more, but
I'm like a
it's just,
once every
you know,
2 weeks
actually, I'll
kind
tell
of
you
guy.
what, you know what I do?
Yeah.
How it actually forces me, because when I'm sitting in front of the mirror and you're flicking stuff and it gets on the mirror, then you
Sure.
gotta clean it, right? I
a
keep
shower
mine in the
floss,
shower.
yeah,
Yeah,
shower
and I
floss.
just do it
I
that
use
way.
the picks now.
Do you brush your teeth in the shower?
No,
No, I think that's
No,
weird.
that's
You-
weird.
What do you do?
he does. I can
Oral
tell.
brush.
Definitely.
Oh, you do? Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I brush
You
my
do.
teeth in the shower.
I used to,
Fucking
like
weird.
when I was younger, but I
Fucking
don't know.
weird.
It's gross.
I'm just like,
Well, why is it
it's too much
gross?
work.
I don't know. Something about the water and I don't know. It grosses me out.
Well, but
Yeah.
You
what's
also like
the
shave in there and stuff, but I guess it's a little different for a man. You know, you're shaving your beard over the
No,
sink.
no.
Do you shave in the shower?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, you do everything in the shower.
Yeah.
Do you have a mirror in the
Sweet.
shower?
Do you have a mirror?
I mean, I'm not shaving down. I'm just buzzing my stuff so it's all at one level, and then I trim
Not your
up.
junk, your beard.
Yeah, everything.
Oh.
I shave everything.
Wait,
in the
but it
shower.
seems like you have an electric trimmer in water, which is usually highly
water-
dangerous.
they're
They're
waterproof
waterproof,
now.
man.
Oh, are they? See, I don't know.
Well, like
I didn't
the-
know. See, that's how.
You ever
I'm
seen
not
the what is it, Man Shave Club? Or,
Yeah, I've
or-
got,
or
yeah,
not
yeah,
that-
yeah.
I've got that.
But call it the
sweet one, that-
lawnmower.
Yeah, I've got the lawnmower 3.0, man.
They call it sweet. See, that's an interesting business model too. Like I saw
Shavers?
that, because Gillette. I mean, I'm
Is
actually.
it Gillette that makes it? I have no idea.
I don't know. I thought so. That was my
Steve,
suspicion,
you're gonna
but
have
it
to take
wasn't.
a picture. I'm gonna have to buy one of these now.
We'll get
They
you
sell
one.
it at Target.
Yeah,
man.
we'll get you one.
All right.
But I'm kind of that when they started the Dollar Shave Club, because they were trying to go after my age group,
Right.
right?
Yep,
Because you always had Gillette, and they were always. I mean, fuck, they were expensive. It was
Yeah.
it's like, what are we buying here?
Yeah,
It just kept getting
$40
more,
for
it's
some
more and
reason.
more expensive, and so like they had a disruptor. But I did think that Gillette was the person that owned the Man Shave Club.
That man shaver thing is amazing. It's just one level. I just shave everything. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's kind of chintzy, though. I think there can be. I mean, it works though.
No, the one I have is like way nicer. It's
You got the 3.0.
Yeah, it's like
Whatever.
$90 or whatever. It's nice.
I thought that. Like, I think people would pay for it.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm the sucker that paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you love it, so you're
So
not a sucker.
you shave though sink.
Yeah,
Sink.
she sink. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I thought wasn't there some weird point in your life where as a pilot you had to like shave your face?
We have to. Yeah, as an
can't-
airline.
can you go
No,
out like
I
that at
cannot.
all?
Right
No.
now, like this right now,
Yeah.
no. I have to have a clean shave every
Really?
day. Oh yeah,
For
every-
the
for commercial airlines, absolutely.
What is the reason?
So here's the thing: you're allowed to have only a mustache. That's it. The reason for being is for donning the oxygen mask. Donning means putting on the oxygen mask if there's an emergency.
Gotcha.
Now, what's retarded is that if it's like this level, stubble or whatever,
Yeah.
or even yours is a little. You guys are a little bit more. It's not gonna. You're still gonna get a good seal.
Sure.
But it's been like forever done long ago that they haven't changed the rules. But what's funny is you go down to Mexico, or
They probably don't give a shit.
they all have beards. Or you go to Saudi, the Middle Eastern, these
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
have full on beards. Which I'm like, okay, having a little bit of beard is going to dawn that. No, you're going to have a breakage of the seal, but it's a part of their religion.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's I
So
actually
you love your days off then?
I love my days
So
off.
because you don't have
Well,
to shave.
I came to work like this, and I had my aviators on, and I took a picture, and of course, I'm an idiot. I put it on social media, right? And I get a call from my chief pilot going, "Do you have a beard?" And but these are all my friends, so I'm like, "Who just turned me in?" Right? And ended up finding that person who's not my friend anymore. But he goes, yeah. He goes, I want to, talk to you about it. And so he ended up calling up and telling me, what had transpired with the other senior chief pilot who was like, hey, who knows me? He's like, who is that? He's like, that's Andy Johnson. He's the one that runs the Mile High Club. He's Captain Mile High, whatever like that. He goes, well, tell him to shave that shit off his face. Okay. An hour later, the same senior chief pilot called him up and he goes, hey, is this Andy? And he's like, yeah, like we just had this conversation, right? He goes, well, tell him to just shave it down a little bit, okay? He's like, he had complete dementia for a minute and completely forgot.
That's
He had
awesome.
the whole conversation, but it transpired like, tell him to shave that shit off. Well, tell him to just clean it up a little. So I ended up doing the handlebar mustache. That's
awesome.
I took a picture. I was like, to my chief pilot, I'm like, how's this look? And then I did the mustache. Well, I'll send some pictures to you and show you. I either look like a pedophile or a 1970s porn star. Either one. Most people say I look like a porn star.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want a lot of people thinking you look like a pedophile.
No, nobody wants that. I was like, I'll take the porn star pilot look. You know what I mean? And it was one of those things that, but I mean, and then I ended up writing an apology on my Facebook, saying, hey, I apologize to my fellow co-workers and chief pilot. However, in my defense, I was going to be in a Gillette commercial the next day. But anyway, Warner Brothers called me up and said they need a new guy for the new Super Troopers 3 movie. So I'm an FFDO. So I'm the pilot that carries the handgun. So I don't know. You had to, I had to throw it back a little bit.
I got you.
I go against the grain. That's just my nature.
Okay, so now I got a question about
Is it a
this.
shaving question?
No,
Or is it hair?
we're off the shaving.
We're done with shaving.
We're off the
I
shaving
mean,
here.
we have a lot
but
to talk about shaving, though.
okay. So the FFA, right? Is that
The
right?
FAA,
FAA.
FFA is for farmers.
Yeah. Okay. Federal. What is it? Federal.
Aviation Administration.
Is that worldwide?
No, the FAA is just for the United States of
Okay.
America. Now, there are different FAAs for different countries, but they're different identifiers. So, like Canada, I think is ATC, like Air Transport Canada, or something. But ours, FAA is specifically only for the United States.
Okay, because that's what I was going with about when you were talking about the rules before the shaving tangent was, other people. Because I was like, oh, well, maybe it is worldwide, or maybe it is just United States rules.
No,
right?
it's just United States rules.
Gotcha.
Are there many women pilots? Commercial?
No, there's not. I mean, they encourage female pilots big time because if you're a female and you become a pilot and want to be a commercial pilot, kudos to you because you're going to get any job you want. Like for us, you could, you're going to be like, hey, maybe I might get Spirit or Frontier or something. If I was a girl, I'd be like, give me Delta, and they'll be like, okay, here you go, here's your wings. I mean, it's great. I mean, and because again, we do need more. They make up for usually about 1% to 2% of the population of pilots. So. Or less than 5%. I don't want to give any real statistics,
Sure.
but again, it's very very small, and yeah, there needs to be more pilots.
Do Delta pilots make fun of Spirit pilots? Like, huh.
You know what? I'm sure they do. I mean, everybody makes fun of everybody in a way if you're working. That's how. There's always that little bit of, hey, whatever. But I have people that fly for Spirit here, 2 of my buddies, and they love it. I've never actually. I'll be honest with you. I've never heard any employee talk bad about Spirit. Of course, customer wise, yes,
sure.
But employee wise, they really do treat their employees excellent. And sometimes I think what is my buddy said? He goes, well, the only problem, he goes, I love Spirit. The only problem I hate about it is telling people I fly for Spirit.
Yeah, 100%. Probably a great company.
They really are. I think they're a great company to work for. But I have flown on them. I haven't had any bad experiences other than I did a red eye and I could not recline, and I just woke up with the worst crink in my neck.
But it only cost you $29. It was cheaper to fly somewhere than go to the movies.
Yeah, pretty much. That is the big thing.
So I heard this the other day when I was flying. I've been actually flying like every weekend. But the guy, the steward, what is it? A stewardess?
No, flight attendant.
Flight attendant?
Yeah.
What's stewardess?
That is a stewardess, but it's like old term, and they don't like hearing
old.
it. Like you're gonna get slapped next time.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
But it's flight attendant. Okay.
Flight attendant. Yeah.
And then I wanted to talk about your staff too, because I think that's an interesting part. Go back on the tour side. But what would you rank the top airlines that you would fly like right now in today's world? Because I always hear Alaska Airlines for some reason.
You know what? I've never actually flown Alaska, so I cannot.
But have you heard that too? Like,
I've heard great things about Alaska.
Or why? Like what is the reason?
Customer service. That's
what it is?
I mean, I know some people that fly for them, and they're great people. So that's what I think it is. But I don't know much to say about that. Biggest, I could say for me personally, Southwest. I love Southwest. I go to work Southwest in a day, and we almost have the same logo. Like I think they should hire me. I could be based out of Vegas. Like,
that's true.
I fly because I'm based in Phoenix, so I have to commute to work. And normally I'm flying Southwest, and they're just so nice. Everybody's so friendly.
Yeah.
They're so fun. They're very laid back.
Yeah. What's the big one that flies out of the Middle East?
Qatar.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing that I found out from. You go there, you're going to be paid a lot of money, but you're going to be on a contract for, let's say, 3 or 4 years, and they're going to treat you like they own you.
Yeah.
So that's like, you and they pay for everything. It's great living conditions and all this stuff, but they own you for the time that they have you. So
Really?
It all depends upon who you are. And I would say it's better for just a single guy. But I even talked to a single guy that was like, I was happy to just get out of there. It's like they were just using and abusing me and flying me everywhere and stuff like that. So, but again,
What about Delta, United?
Delta, United, yeah. I mean, they're great carriers.
Delta's always better, but I mean, those are the two. That's like the Coke and Pepsi.
Yep, exactly. Those are. So those, like I said, those are. I would say right there are the ones that would be on my top list.
Okay.
American. I fly for American. To be honest, they can be hit or miss. I've had great experience, but
I've never flown American anywhere.
So
I had to Florida one time. That was like and it was like back in the day too, because I was talking about those Susan, like, don't really fly big planes where there's the three seats. You know what I mean? Across. What type of planes are you flying?
I fly the CRJ.
Where's
900.
the middle and the left and the right?
Right. So mine, I fly for a regional carrier. So American Eagle, if you know American Eagle. So I fly the CRJ 900. Our aircraft we fit up to normally about 80 passengers. Oh. And like I said, I'll go from Phoenix all the way to Memphis. A lot of California stuff being based out of here, but mainly I fly out of Dallas and Phoenix.
I've became obsessed with jet suites. It's just
I actually almost went to work for them. They actually called me up and said, "Hey, we want you to come in," and I was already in training.
It's just the best thing ever.
But
Jen and I flew down to Arizona, and that's impossible to be.
Oh, right to Phoenix, right?
I mean, it's like 45 minutes from our office to Phoenix.
Yep, it's quick.
Yeah, it's
quick and easy.
Great.
That's why I like being based there. I initially was based in Dallas, and I had to commute, and that's a 2.5, 3 hour flight in two different time zone, and I hated it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sure airline talk is about the most boring thing that we could ever.
I know. We didn't mean to go back. So okay, let's go back to your experience. Sorry.
So tell me more about the airline.
Now it's just turned it into my personal conversation with you. So sorry about that.
Let's sit around and talk about what did you do before this? How was your job at Burger King?
Well, we knew this. I mean, shit, we can go longer if we need to. Okay, so what about on the Love Cloud staff? Because I was looking at pictures too. When you go up, and it's a smaller plane, right? But you guys are also serving dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How does explain that? Or do you
So,
have kind of the
well, so I have been almost a one-man operation up until this year.
okay.
I used to, with my flight schools, I owned 2 flight schools. I had 17 airplanes, 14 employees, and I thought by having more employees, I could take more vacations.
That's
Wrong.
not true.
Wrong.
So you were trying to have multiple planes doing this business? Is that what you
No,
were
no, no,
saying?
no, no. I had 2 flight schools in Virginia.
Oh,
Before
gotcha,
this,
yeah.
I sold those, and then that's when I moved out here to start Love Cloud
Gotcha.
because I was burnt out. I actually ended up horrible scenario. My office manager stole thousands of dollars from me, you know, put me in a bad situation. But it's like anything, you live and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not many people know that, but I didn't know that until she stole $120,000 from the people that I sold the company to. So it was a big, it was one of those things that people thought I walked away with people's money. I walked away with my tail between my legs and a big learning experience when it comes to business because I entrusted everything in her. And she was like my mother, and she took me and raked me across the cleaners. And but like I said, you know, it was a hard time in my life, but you live and learn, and that's why I was like, I want to get back on top again.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's why I had this idea since I was in college. I thought about it. I thought it'd be so cool, you know, and it was one of those things that I just was like, I'm going to do it. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. And I literally packed up everything in my car. I drove across the country. I already lined up a lease in November of 2013 to lease this plane. I just had enough money for maybe 4 months to make this business go. I was going to go back to Virginia. And in that third month, that's when it just went viral.
Started
and I just,
working.
and it kept me here. Because I was, you know, I didn't think, I was like 4 months, I might be going back to Virginia.
Well, I know Jaden asked it, and I don't know. Are you married at this point? I
So-
know you got a kid.
I do have a kid. I have a 4.5-year-old daughter. Her name is Chanel because I knew she was going to be beautiful, so she had to have a beautiful name. I am not married anymore. I've been divorced for a couple of years. And, you know, it was just one of those things.
Pre flying up in the club.
Well, really, you know, here's the thing. Being an airline pilot, you cannot marry somebody that's insecure.
sure.
And
I
my
believe that.
ex was very insecure, and she said, if you join the airlines, we're going to get a divorce. And that's pretty much kind of what happened. So, but she was never.
I wasn't trying to put you on blast. I thought you were going to have a fun story.
No. Sorry, it wasn't.
Steve threw me back. I know Jaden asked this question and you totally avoided it, but I'm going to bring it back up.
I'm like, okay, well, let's go deep. Let's bring up the it's okay.
Tell me about your childhood and traumatic stuff.
Well, even to that point, which is funny, it's like you've had a damn passion to be a pilot your whole life, and then she's like, "Oh, if you're going to be a pilot."
Yeah, well, and that's the whole thing, you know. But you know, I digress.
We're going to have to retitle this. This is a therapy.
I hope-
This is the therapy
Yeah,
podcast.
We went
you know
way
what? You know what? Like I said, I'll be
probably
honest.
your old
I
office.
honestly, I couldn't follow my dream and take Love Cloud to where I really wanted to because she didn't support me either. But I was madly in love, and you know what? Since that has happened, I've got a great business partner. We're taking this business to where I wanted to 7 years ago, and I'm doing what I came here to originally do.
That's awesome.
I mean, come on, let's face it. We've all fallen in love with the wrong person. We've all gotten in, you know, love struck and everything like that. And like I said, that's life, man.
Not Jana. Jana's crushing it here.
Well, I mean, look at her. She's just crushing it totally.
Yeah, I know. But we're high school sweethearts. But that's not true. I mean, we took some time off, I guess.
Oh, see.
Steve saying
He's
is
like, gosh, I'm now like Dr. Phil.
Steve
I
saying
am not
is
at all like Dr.
Steve saying is always like first marriage is for what? Love.
You generally marry the first one for love. Second one is supposed to be like you know better, and then the third one is for money.
I believe that. You know.
I mean, but that means you've got to burn up one. You've still got one to burn.
I got one. That's okay, man.
That one's for fun usually, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see. Like I said, I'm not
Fun, yes, maybe, but it's
business first.
Breakups, divorces are not fun.
Business first. Now that's my look.
If you've done that, if you've broken up, divorced once, you've experienced all you need to experience.
Yeah, I'm done.
You don't need to do that a couple times.
You don't need to do it again. But some people
Theoretically,
and then people go, "Well, I'm on my fifth."
Yeah, you know, it's like
Is there a warning sign if somebody's been married? Like, what's too many?
I think 3.
You think after 3?
If anybody's been married 3 times, I'd be like, bye.
So you mean on their 4th?
No, if they're like, if they're gonna go, they're like, I've been divorced 3 times.
Okay.
Bye. Lose my number.
I think that is like the status. I think that's the standard number. Is that if you can't make like after 3 divorces, you're pretty much undateable.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't.
Or unmarriable for sure.
Yeah, you might as well become a cat lady or get into, or for a man, just get into a weird, like, habit or something like that.
I was wondering where that was. I think everyone was waiting. That was a cliffhanger.
I was like trying to figure out where, what do you do recreationally?
I want to be a weird cat lady.
Yeah.
You guys,
Is there too many? Is there too many? Like after 3 divorces, what's a sign to you? What would be too many?
Probably the third, but I don't know. I'd be a little iffy after the second too, but it
What?
all depends on the
I
situation.
don't think-
Yeah, that's the thing. It's second, I'd be like, okay, maybe it's just that you were just making some horrible decisions in your life. But 3 is like, for me.
yeah.
I've been divorced twice.
Have you? Great. So
Yeah, don't marry me. I knew there was a chance, you and I, but
You can use them as a burner.
Yeah, there we go. I like that idea.
I can't be your burner.
Yeah.
I can't be your burner.
So okay.
I don't want to be the first story of the guy that went from the girls to the guys.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to be that guy on your
You're like,
flight.
man, I just got over it.
So
Yeah.
okay, so we got a question from the stream here.
Okay.
Somebody wanted to know. I mean, can you hear anything in the experience or anything like that? I mean, because we talked about the small plane, your plane. So
Yeah.
give us kind of the synopsis.
Well, like I said, normally I cannot hear anything.
Yeah.
But the times that I do hear are the screamers.
Do you ever cheer them on?
Well, that sounded kind of bad, right? Why don't you do a
If they're
screaming voice?
screaming,
Sorry. Come on.
if they're screaming like that on a plane, you almost got to wonder.
I wonder,
did
is
somebody
something
commit
wrong? Should I be checking? Do we have
Yeah.
good oil pressure? No. I'm just,
Did he just kill her in the back of my plane?
right.
Or is that
Right. Is that red satin sheets or red blood sheets? No, I'm joking.
It's a murder.
I don't know. Wow.
Murder
I'm like
mystery.
putting my
It's a murder mystery.
But no, yeah. So
Noise,
to answer
people-
the question, like I said, we wear noise canceling handsets. It's already noisy somewhat with the engines,
Yeah.
And then again, like I said, and plus we're always talking to air traffic control because this is what's called Class Bravo airspace, which is basically the highest dense traffic area with all the different. With all the different airports in here, congestion
and
with aircraft
and helicopters
and
and
exactly.
everything like that.
That's
the
why
point I wanted you to say.
I'm
yeah.
actually, we have a certain track, just like the helicopters to fly, around the track, around the strip. They're at 3,000 feet. We're at 5,500 feet. And then we are always coordinating with them. And actually, we're going to have a meeting with air traffic control. Because my partner and I are also starting a new business for banner towing, advertising, banner towing in the near future. And we're going to have to really be tight with that because we're going to be at very low altitudes with the helicopters flying next to some of these buildings so that obviously the advertisement's readable and is very, like I said, it's really hard to kind of put everything together to make sure you're right because then you got to remember you got all the departures of all these big jumbo jets coming out of McCarran. Well, that creates wake turbulence, and I'm in this plane at the slowest possible speed and carrying all this drag with a big banner. It's a lot. It's a lot going on. But going back to what you're saying, I'm talking to ATC the whole time, so I'm busy and I'm not paying attention to what's going on. Like I said, the funny time is when I can hear it or if I'm feeling it.
So here's my question: is I've got kind of a little bit of a fear of like small planes. Sure. I took a couple flying lessons. I thought, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna love it. I went and did it like 3 times, and just being in that little small single prop plane, the up and down turbulence, too much. And then I have a horror story. I got super sick on a plane like yours, sitting in the back.
Yeah.
So have you had any situations? People, you're not flying very high. You're right in like turbulence.
Yeah. No, that's a great question because I've only had a few, I'll tell you. And the only thing that has happened has been where I don't, like right now in the summertime, I do not do daytime flighting. I do not do daytime flights because it's too hot. Heat creates turbulence. And that's what you got to think is that if you're in the plane and you're looking out the window and there's turbulence, that's okay. But when, let's say, you're lying on the bed with your significant other, you can't see. You have no horizon. So it's just like when they tell you don't go below deck on a boat when there's a storm, because you'll get sick. You need to stay above the boat, look out and get that horizon to to keep oscillated. And so I've had some where I've told them, hey, okay, we'll go, and sure enough, they've gotten sick. And sadly, that's taking a great experience and making it a negative one.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I hate that. I just feel so bad. I've actually a couple times refunded those customers because I'm like, hey, I want you to come back. You know what I mean? Because this is something that I know you want for the as a memory for the rest of your life, and now we've made it this horrible memory.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, we only like literally sunset to night flights from now until about September is all we do.
Yeah.
To make sure that doesn't happen.
That's like my horror story. I always think how neat it would be.
But no horror stories as far as maintenance issue or safety or anything like that.
Well,
I just want to I just got to put that out there.
I mean, I'm happy to hear that. I wasn't concerned about that. I thought you guys had that.
Yeah.
I was concerned about getting sick on your flight. That
Gotcha.
would be, but the Horizon thing is a big deal. And I guess I didn't even think of it in that aspect. Yeah. If you're not looking out the windows or able to like sit level and have like some sort of frame of reference.
Oh, actually, I got a good story now for you. You just brought it because that's the thing. I've been writing these stories down because I want to make a book at one point. But the funniest was this woman booked the flight. This was her fantasy. She paid for it, right?
Sure.
Everything. She is so gung ho. Brings her boyfriend out.
Yeah.
And they go up, and about 30 minutes in, she comes back and she's like, "We have to come down. He's sick." And she is pissed. And I'm like, okay, right? And so we get down, and this guy is just, I mean, he feels horrible. He's sick. He's not faking it.
Yeah.
He's out. He's just lying on my couch, like, with ice on his head. I'm like, "Can I get you anything?" Whatever. And she's just sitting in the chair, just looking at him with these dirty looks like, "You freaking asshole, you have ruined my day, and you can't keep your shit together." And I felt so bad for the guy. I mean, I just felt bad for him in general. And so that's another one that I'm like, okay, man. I mean, this guy's going to be in the doghouse for who knows how long, right?
Yeah.
And they never came back because I told him, I said, "Hey, come back. I'll give you a discounted flight." Because we did go a long time. I mean, we were already halfway through the flight. I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I'll help you out on the next one." And I don't who knows? You're probably not even together anymore.
What about the food
together.
when people do the food? I mean,
yeah.
How does that work? You guys cater it in, or what's the deal?
We do actually. That's a great question. So we have two different packages. We have a 1-course meal for an hour, and then we have a 3-course meal for an hour and a half. So the 1-course meal is basically champagne or wine, whatever you choose, 2 entrees. And that's basically it. And then maybe a dessert to share, right? Yeah. The main one is a 3-course meal where you do an appetizer, 2 entrees, 2 desserts, bottle of wine, and champagne. And we're normally flying around, Red Rock Canyon, Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, the Strip, and we have a flight attendant on board.
Okay.
So what we do is we work with a restaurant locally, a really great Italian restaurant actually, and we give the clients the menu prior to. And we let them choose the appetizers.
What is it? We're local.
Okay, a Mezzo Bistro actually off of Rancho. Mezzo Bistro. It's awesome.
You heard of it?
Yeah. Right. It's like Rainbow and Craig right there. Or excuse me, not Rainbow. Rancho and Craig.
That's on the north side.
Yeah, north side. Yep. Because we're out of North Las Vegas Airport, by the way.
Yeah, I always forget that. Yeah. I'm like, Mezzo.
Yeah, because people think we're out of McCarran. It's just the traffic is too much. It would be ridiculous, So we're able to get in, get out, and stuff there. But yeah, so what I'll do is I'll have the flight attendant go ahead or myself get the food. Yeah. And we already have special containers to keep it obviously hot and everything so that when we do go up, everything's perfect. And then what happens, we'll go up, they'll get some champagne, they'll be sipping on it. We'll usually it's like a meat and cheese tray or something like that for the appetizer. Then she'll prep everything, get the dinners ready for each of them. And then the desserts, by the way, if you ever do go, the desserts are amazing. If you look on our website, you can see like their strawberry cheesecake they have. It's the best I've ever had in my life. Seriously. There it is right there. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh, my mouth is salivating right now, actually.
Weddings. People do weddings and vow renewals. I mean, that's totally makes sense.
Well, that's the one that actually is a little bit more customized. But getting back to the dinner, I always tell people, like, for the price point that we have, for you to have your own plane, chartered plane, a flight attendant, your own private pilot, that would cost 2-3 times what I'm charging normally to do something that romantic. And that's the big thing that I'm trying to get out. The Mile High Club has taken off, as you guys have seen, with all the publicity, but I do offer all these other... Yeah, right, and exactly. But there are all these other things because let's just say not everybody does want to do the Mile High Club, but they come and they go, oh, well, because they might know their significant other. She might not be into that, but she would be definitely into the dinner. Yeah. And so we have different romantic options per se. But with the wedding we do where it can be completely customizable, where we have a minister on board, and we can do a normal flight. we do the boutonniere,
Yep, yep.
everything, the champagne toast, and they're just sitting there doing a night of sync tour over Vegas.
Yeah.
We can also do a Mile High Club wedding where the minister there ministers the wedding, and then he comes up with us. We close the curtain, and then they consummate their marriage right then and there. We've had that happen as well, which is pretty cool. And then
that's cool. That's a good experience,
right?
And that's like attention grabber. I love it.
And then the other ones that we've done customized weddings where we'll even charter a bigger airplane. Like we don't have, which is called a Pilatus. It's about an 8, 9, 10-seater twin engine prop, or excuse me, turboprop, not twin engine, turboprop. And we had the couple, and actually go ahead and you can check it out on the wedding packages. That's the actual couple that got married. If you click and go to the bottom, those two right there, that's them. And so we had the minister, we had a photographer on board, and then they had the groomsmen and the the bridesmaid. I couldn't remember her name.
We're gonna make this a good,
and so we've done that where we've done that, or like you can see we can do it themed where we can in our corporate hangar we've had a 200-person wedding. Sure. And the reception, and then when it's sunset, everybody throws the rice. They go down the red aisle, they hop into the plane, and then they're magically whisked away in the sunset. And if they choose to, they could join the Mile High Club on that flight too, or not.
Who's this cat? Who's this cat?
So those are two couples. That's a group, and then so those two got married. The black and white people right there off to the right, and then the Asian couple to the left. That was the bridesmaid and groomsmen. Those are those friends. Cool. So that was their group right there.
Cool.
Yeah. And again with the photography and everything, I think that whole wedding, to be honest, I think it was like $3,500, $4,000.
Oh, that's not even bad.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not bad.
That's cool.
Certainly
that's
a cooler story than getting married by Elvis.
Yeah, exactly. And we do vow renewal. People don't even think about that. A lot of people come here to the small. I'm like, do you really want to do a vow renewal with Elvis? Really? Is it going to be fat or skinny Elvis? It's usually fat Elvis.
It's going to be the Elvis that's at the Las Vegas sign.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't know if he's skinny or fat. I just know he's always there.
See, this is cool, and this is like it's marketable. It's a cool client, you know what I mean, for us, and just let everybody know, you guys jumped aboard. You know what I mean? We met, reached out.
Yeah, you reached out. I was happy. I mean, you caught us at the great time, and I'm very happy you reached out because this is exactly what we need.
Yeah.
We are on a mission. My business partner, and you'll, I'm sure, do a podcast. Tony. I call him the machine. That's his machine.
He's intense.
He is go-getter, man. The guy hardly ever sleeps. I mean, and we're identical. I mean, we are literally brothers from another mother. And you know how business partnerships can go. It's either good or bad. There's no in between. And I actually was his instructor. That's how I met him. I was starting another flight school out here right before I went into the airlines, and he was my student, and that's how we got hooked up, and we just stayed friends. And so he actually hadn't gotten his license. He got his instrument with me, but he was needing to get his commercial and multi-engine. And luckily for COVID, he had the time to do it and got all that, because I said, I can't bring you in as a business partner if you can't add that. Yeah, because with me being the airlines, I need another pilot. Sure. I need another pilot if I'm going to be gone. Yeah. So he went and got everything done. And then so it's like, all right, bro, let's do this. Let's become, and we're 50-50 everything down the middle, and it's exciting. It's great. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very cool, man. This has been awesome. I am amazed.
Yeah.
I'm far more impressed, and it's a very different business. So
it's unique in itself, and that's what I've always told people is that, there's two things I love in life, Mike or Steve.
I can be a Mike if you want.
Yeah.
I'll be Mike.
You want to be Mike? Okay.
Okay.
Mike. Well,
there's talking into the
There
mic,
is two things I love in life, and that is flying and fucking. And I just combined these two.
Okay. That's awesome.
All right, that's really it. I'm like the guy that invented the Snuggie, Jana. Okay, this is my one thing I've got. I got nothing else. You might as well throw me to the curb or the pet rock.
I wonder if anybody knows the name of the guy that invented the Snuggie.
I don't know.
I just slank it,
but yeah.
I have been knocked off. It's like a snuzzle.
Snuzzle, blanket, and a Snuggie.
Never heard that.
And ended on that right there.
Exactly.
So, all right, Captain Mile High, man. Where can everybody find you guys? I mean, check them out. Love Cloud Vegas. Follow them on Instagram. You have a personal Instagram?
I do.
Brand, like your thing?
Captain _love_cloud. I go Captain Mile High, Captain Love Cloud. Those are the two I usually go by. But yeah, I mean, check us out, lovecloudvegas.com, Love Cloud Vegas on Facebook, on Instagram, now on TikTok. Our TikTok has just gone viral. We got 3 million views on that.
Awesome.
We've been killing it, just killing it on TikTok and stuff with all the different stuff that we've been putting together. And a lot of that has been Tony himself. Yeah. I mean, God, I think he responded in 1 week into 16,000 comments. He didn't go to bed. He didn't go to bed. And he doesn't do drugs, just so you guys know. You're like, how did he stay awake? No, the guy he's the machine, wild. Man. He is the machine.
Yeah, and the bookings, and we're going to work with you guys to tell your story. You know what I mean? Tell it out, get everything dialed in.
And watch for the merchandise. The merchandise, we got merchandise coming, and we've got, for girls, we got like nice, like sexy lingerie. We've got some like workout, like what are the spandex, the yoga pants and the yoga tops kind of stuff. We've got the hats, we got bumper stickers. We've got all sorts of different things.
We live in Vegas, man. Like, you know what I mean? This is a sweet opportunity for people to come, but also it's a real tour or a sightseeing experience too. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it's awesome. So yeah, check these guys out. Follow them along. Thanks everybody for listening to the podcast. We're gonna post the link below in the comments. We'll tell the whole story. This was a fun episode. I even had more questions that I wanted to ask, and I'm running over my time. So thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you guys all next time on the podcast. Thank you, Captain Mile High, for joining.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
Steve, everybody,
this is awesome.
Follow along, like along, or subscribe. So
something.
See you guys all next time. Thanks again for listening. Be safe.
Here we go.